Hello, Nadia.
Hello. Hi, everybody.
Hi, everybody. It is Halloween week. And Nadia, I was really looking forward to talking to you today. I don't know why. Like, we talk all the time, but for whatever reason, I was excited about, especially excited about talking to you on the podcast today.
Because you just missed me so much.
I guess so. I guess I missed you. And then I thought about, do I really miss her? I mean, I just saw her a couple weeks ago, but I don't know.
you could you could still miss me if you saw me 2 weeks ago.
It's true. It's true. And yeah, so it's Halloween week, and I have a few Halloweeny topics to talk to you about. But first of all, what do you have planned? What did you do last weekend, and do you have anything planned this weekend?
This past weekend, I don't even know the right way to what the right term is. I went on a bar crawl. I participated in a Boston bar crawl this weekend, and it was a lot of fun. Yeah, it's probably exactly what you imagine it to be,
Is
and
everybody in
but
costumes?
yeah,
Can we
and
talk, can we talk a little bit about female costumes on Halloween?
what about it?
Like, I don't know. It it seems to me that it would be tricky to it seems to me like the expectation is to be dressed a little bit like it's like a Halloween costume plus made sexy.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, it's the only time of the year that if you wanted to wear something like that, you could.
Isn't
And
that
I mean,
funny though?
other people wear costumes. If you want to make it your more you, then why not?
Isn't that funny though that we can kind of just I mean I appreciate it. It's a moment to wear whatever you want and no one will judge. But what I think is interesting is that it's too bad that we can't just wear whatever we want to wear anytime and
Well,
not.
personally, I do, but I'm not gonna go out in costume. Some people do actually do that. I'm just saying, it's an excuse to wear a costume if you don't usually. Not necessarily whatever you want to wear, but specifically a costume.
There's something so comforting about wearing a costume, actually. I don't know if you know, but I choreographed and am participating in a flash mob this Friday. And I feel no qualms about the performance because I'm going to be dressed up so that I look pretty anonymous. But think about what I would feel like if I was just wearing my regular clothes and dancing on the street versus with makeup and people can hardly recognize me. And I feel much better with makeup when people can't recognize me if I'm going to be dancing on the street.
Yeah, it's like an expression of you in another form.
Mm-hmm.
For me, it's just kind of fun and an excuse to go shopping on Amazon. So
Actually, the person that organized this flash mob, she's very much into not, giving into the consumerist ways of Halloween. So there's a lot of recycling of clothing happening for our costumes. I did
that's
go and buy,
nice.
yeah, I did go and buy my own makeup though, because I wanted makeup that isn't going to be toxic. Because last year, when I put on some of the makeup that we all shared, because, no one needs to buy all that makeup for themselves, like the smell of the makeup made me feel a little bit like, oh my gosh, I'm putting toxic chemicals on my face. This can't be good.
Yeah, I never go all out. Personally, just like honestly, I feel like maybe it's the people I surround myself with because some people do go all out and paint your face, all of that kind of stuff. But for me, the clothes are enough. The Honestly, not even the clothes because I feel like my costumes are always pretty interpretive and never really exact because I have to buy on a budget. But I don't know. The idea is there.
Hmm. At least it's a good conversation starter. And
Yeah.
then what are you doing on Halloween?
This weekend I'm going to New York well, mainly to cheer on some friends and my roommates' families. Also, they're running the New York Marathon, which is on Sunday. And I'm going on Friday to spend Halloween with my friend from home in New York.
How exciting.
Yeah, and she's throwing a Halloween party.
At her apartment?
Actually, I'm going to I'm going to two Halloween parties.
Oh, you sound so excited.
Well, I just had like a really busy, well, I'm still really busy with a lot of schoolwork, and it's just like kind of just want it to be over. Although after this weekend, it's not over, and I still have to do a lot more work. But I just like want to. I don't know. I want a break.
Okay, so the next Halloweeny thing, I guess it's not necessarily just for Halloween, but it feels kind of appropriate to talk about during Halloween, is
Mm-hmm.
you sent me a text message this week saying that your friend read your tarot cards.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me
Yeah,
that.
she did. Well, I have a friend who recently just got into tarot cards, and I am just a sucker for tarot cards. And sometimes it's like not for like the wrong reasons, but it's like I'm like waiting for someone to tell me what I want to hear. And then and like during 2020, I guess maybe like 2020, 2021, I got a little bit I got into it a little bit because my sister Lucy got me tarot cards for my birthday or Christmas or something. And so I like tried to learn how to do it on my own. Although I feel like if your intentions aren't like fully there, how accurate is it really? Which you could get into. But my friend has been really into it recently, and I just saw her for the first time in a while. So she read me my tarot cards, but kind of did it in a way that, and she did this for a few of my friends also, in a way that she felt that those cards were had her energy, is which how she explained it, and she laid them out, and then I closed my eyes, and then I picked three cards randomly to represent my past, present, and future, and then
And
and then she put it. Then she like looked up what each of the cards meant, and then told me what it was.
in the end, what did you get out of it?
Well, I'm not really sure how you like talk about this, but like how but the card, I also have no context to explain what any of these cards mean for anyone that's listening. But the cards that I pulled were the Judgment card, the Knight of Wands in reverse, which is like if you pull the card and it's like upside down, and the King of Cups, and that's like past, present, and future, excuse me. And each of the cards have meaning, and then obviously depending on the intentions that you set before like pulling them, it's like, you know, they have different like extra means. I don't even know how to explain it. But first card is the card of awakening, reflection, and rebirth. The second one in reverse shows restlessness, impatience, or burnout.
So
And
that's your present.
yeah, in the future one, it represents emotional maturity, compassion, and balanced love. So,
That sounds nice. It's like kind of
yeah.
reconfirming, like you have talked about feeling like stressed and stuff like that, and you don't know what is happening next exactly for you. So that totally makes sense for your present, that you have some like restlessness. And then that's also
Yeah,
really nice
but
that for the future you have like compassion and love.
yeah. So I feel like the reason why it resonated so much, or I felt that it resonated so much, which is like, I feel like depends on the person. Like you listen to it and then you think about things that would be applicable to the cards that are pulled in the like explanations. But I feel like kind of, it was pretty obvious to me, I think is the way I want to describe it. It was pretty obvious how these cards kind of could fit in to things that I have experienced or am experiencing now. And it's true, like burnout and all that kind of stuff, restlessness is kind of how I'm feeling recently. And also, it just sometimes it feels like, I don't know, things are bubbling up inside of me and I just want to do more, or I feel like I'm kind of stuck, which I feel like was present in that card. But sometimes it feels a little bit silly, just like I think that it depends on the person who's like receiving or pulling the cards. Like for me, sometimes it just feels a little bit silly, like listening to cards and like random explanation, or I don't know who decided what each of the cards meant, but like listening to that and applying it to my life. But I think that I don't know, like it's kind of like it gave what I was feeling not a meaning, but like a reason for why it's there. And in a sense, like I don't know if the future card is actually what's going to happen in the future, but I can, hope that it would, or at least like work towards it more directly. I'm like more aware of it now, I guess.
Hmm. I guess it's like, yeah, you can like look at how it says that your future is, like a beautiful outcome or whatever, and there will be compassion and love. I think if you hope for that, then it's more likely to happen. It would be kind of sucky though if it had like a negative future card.
Yeah. I don't think like that's never the intention of these cards. I think like you can never really have a negative outcome, I think. I think that not all of what it said was positive for me in those three cards, but approaches it in a way that's like, this is what's the issue, this is the issue, but this is how you can fix it, or like it's more so like making you aware of maybe bad habits that are happening, or bad, or things to stay away from, but it's never going to say like, you know, or at least it shouldn't say
I've only
bad
had a couple
things.
interactions with tarot cards. I always get kind of excited about them because I think that not like it's like necessarily telling me the future, but I love the opportunity to see what comes up for me when I
Mm-hmm.
see the card. And I don't know if I ever told you about the time that Eric, your dad, got a tarot card reading from one of our friends.
I think you did.
Yeah, so we were at a wedding. It was a really fun wedding that my friend planned for herself, where there was
Mm-hmm.
all kinds of fun games. There was like scavenger hunts and all this stuff, and we were staying like in a campground for kids camps, and there's like all kinds of fun activities, dancing. And one of the activities was somebody brought her tarot cards and she was reading them. And she asked us to think of a question in our head. And then the three cards that we pull are going to be past, present, and future, kind of like what you did. And it's funny, I don't even remember my cards that much, but I remember Eric, your dad's cards,
Mm-hmm.
um, because in his mind, was asking a question about you. You
Mm-hmm.
were maybe like 12 or so, some kind of tween age. And he was confused about how to continue having a relationship with you because
Mm-hmm.
sure, when you're like a little girl, that's pretty obvious. You take care of your little girl, you know? But
Right.
as you're becoming like a teenager and young adult, like where does your dad play a role? Like, how much does he talk to you? How much does he
Mm-hmm.
cuddle with you? How much does he help you, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And so he had that question in his mind. And I don't remember what the names of the cards were, but there were pictures associated with them. And the first picture was like basically representing the past was something like two animals. And like they were like, I don't know, one animal was holding the other one, like cuddling it, caring for it or something. And the
Mm-hmm.
present oh, was like an elephant and a bird on top. So that was like the present where you're like, he's
Mm-hmm.
the elephant and you're the bird, I guess. And then the future was something like the bird was flying away or something.
Mm-hmm.
It was something so like on exactly what his question was, which was crazy.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. It's not like I've tried a bunch of tarot cards, but your cards seem to fit you like exactly where you are right now. And then his cards totally fit too. Maybe my cards didn't fit as well. So that's why I don't remember mine.
I
But
feel like it's not like always going to be, in my head, it's not always going to be accurate. And you kind of have to like take what resonates. And, if it doesn't resonate, then it's not applicable. And that's okay. But I also feel like, I think you were talking about this like before we got on the call, but I look, I feel like I was looking for a little bit of guidance in this way of like, not like, from you guys or from, advisors or anything like that, but like you guidance from the universe of like making, not making sure I was doing all the right things, but like that I was doing everything for the right reasons. And while the cards didn't tell me that, I feel like I used the cards to like tell myself what I wanted to hear, and that felt good. But I don't know. I don't really know how to talk about tarot cards because I don't really fully understand it. I just enjoy like the thought of it and the what it can be, what can provide for me or other people. But
yeah,
I don't
hopefully
know.
we haven't had a guest all like for the past several weeks now, but hopefully we can grab a guest who is more familiar with tarot cards. I have a cousin, for example, the one that read them at that wedding that I'm
Mm-hmm.
talking about. So let's see if she responds. I
Mm-hmm.
sent her a text message, see if she wants to go on the podcast. But I would love to actually know more about it. I know also like for me, I grew up going to a Catholic school and
Mm-hmm.
kind of got a little bit forced to go to church every weekend and not actually not every weekend, like often at school or whatever. Anyway, my whole experience was felt like I wasn't sure if I really liked all of the things associated with organized religion. And then, oddly enough, getting my tarot cards read made me realize that I understand a little bit more what people enjoy about like what they're enjoying when they go to church, which is like this
Yeah.
sense that there's this bigger energy,
Mm-hmm.
a universal kind of like energy that's kind of controlling or
Yeah.
influencing all of us.
Yeah.
And so yeah.
Yeah.
That
I
that's
agree.
actually that's what I pulled out of it by my experience, like not the reading itself, but I'm like, oh, I kind of understand like why people like to sit in a service and think about this bigger
Mm-hmm.
energy outside of us.
Yeah. I feel like for me, these, and why maybe these cards like resonated so much was because, like I said before, I was just like looking for control. Like I felt like I didn't have control of the things that were happening or like my future. So it's like if an outside whatever is like has some sort of a role up like influence in what happens next, like feels comforting. So yeah, I understand. Like I'm also not a very religious person, but I feel like it makes sense. And yeah, I don't know. But I also like take it when I need it most, and when I don't need tarot cards, like it's not like I'm actively seeking that out. But
Mhm.
you know.
Well, um, and then tarot cards and things like that start make me think about kind of creepy things too. Creepy,
Mm,
I don't know, spirits and energies and whatever. Um,
yeah.
so speaking of which, you're going to New York for the weekend, for Halloween weekend. I'm sure it's going to be creepy, and I hope it's going to be safe.
Well, yeah. But maybe I'll watch Practical Magic.
Oh, I've not seen that.
What? Just kidding. I just watched it 2 weeks ago when I was in New York the last time, and it was really good about witches.
Is it like funny? Is it a little kid show or like an adult show?
No, it's like in the middle. It's like Sandra Bullock and Nicole Kidman as witches.
Oh, cute. And it's fun?
And their like great grandma was a witch during the Salem witch trials. So they're like witches.
That was, I don't know if we talked about this either, but when it was really interesting to go to Salem when we were
Yeah.
in Massachusetts a couple of
Yeah.
weeks back.
I wish taking all this and tarot cards, I wish I was a witch. It'd make things a lot easier.
What do you mean by that? You wish that you had powers that other people don't have?
Not even necessarily that other people don't have, that like I don't have. Like I want to be more in control.
Okay.
I feel like that's like it's just a thing I'm struggling with recently. But
I
control would
know.
be
I think
awesome.
also, a lot of people equate power with control, right?
Hmm.
I mean, sorry, money with power and power with control. Sorry, I
Hmm.
didn't say that right. So, money with power, power with control. So, like, the thing is, sometimes when people have lots and lots of money, they feel like they can have control over a situation, but really no one can ever have all that control over the situation. And
Yeah.
so it's even more frustrating, you know? So if I was given like this, whatever, like ability to control everything, I don't know. I guess I'm assuming that there's just no way to control everything. And I
Yeah.
would just end up being frustrated because I'm like, wait a second, I have this, I don't know, ability. Why is this not, why don't I feel good about this? Why isn't this going the way
Hmm.
that I want it to?
Yeah.
But if you were to have a power, secret power, superpower, what would it be? What would you choose if you could only have one secret power?
Mm, probably to right now, it'd probably be to stop, like to freeze time.
Oh, that's so funny. Actually was thinking that too.
I feel like, well, recently I just feel like there's not enough time in the day to do the things that I want to do. And if I could freeze time, then I would have enough time to do the things I want to achieve. Obviously, no logistics have been thought out about this, but that's what it would be.
But I think we do have that power a little bit, right? Time is kind of relative.
Yeah.
Like, you know, when you 10 minutes can pass by, 10 minutes of an earthquake feels totally different than 10
Hmm.
minutes of sprinting, right? So like,
Yeah, it's true. It's true. And I also think this goes hand in hand with like I just feel like everything needs to be done right now and it doesn't always have to be. But I think it's interesting because I feel like if you ask me this question like 10 years ago, 5 years ago, I probably would have said like I'd want to read people's minds. So I just like I really cared about what everyone else was thinking and like how everybody else perceived me, and now I don't care about that. I mean, not that I don't care about that.
it's
I don't care as
interesting
much about that. And
going
I
back
think
to
that
your
would be overwhelming.
tarot cards. Your first tarot card was like judgment or whatever. So
Mm-hmm.
now like that's what in your past was judgment, and so
Yeah.
you think that you wanted to read people's minds. Your current card is Knight of Wands reversed, which like is about like restlessness, impatience, and burnout.
Mm-hmm.
And you want your power is that you want to stop time, which totally matches. And then
Mm-hmm.
your future card is King of Cups, which is about emotional maturity, compassion, and balanced love. So I wonder what your superpower you're going to want in the future is going to be.
Definitely still to stop time. But yeah, I mean, I can't even talk about the future card because I literally have no. I can't. There's no way. I can't. There's no. I don't know. I have nothing to go off of. But it's definitely like I feel like I'm finding connections in these cards. Like not necessarily like these cards have read me like 100%, but in the past, in the like card that represented the past, it talks a lot about how I realized I wanted to live with more authenticity and emotional honesty and like learned who I truly was, which is like very true. But also not that it wouldn't be resonate with other people, but like it is definitely something that I guess I've been working on for the past few years. But yeah,
All right. Well, it was nice talking to you.
nice talking to you too.
Uh, Goodbye, listeners. Have a happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween.